Good morning, this is David, and you're out in the woods with me today. You're out in a patch of trees Susan and I planted, 30 years ago or so. Not sure what year we planted this. Anyway, it's due for a thinning, so I've been going through here selecting crop trees. It's a lot easier to pick your good ones if you can find your good ones. There you see, put orange paint on that. That's a good one. And then just past that, that's a swamp white oak there. And just past that, you see another one, pin oak. It has orange paint. And trying to pick out bad trees to get rid of is hard. This world is full of bad trees. And the trick is to see good trees. If you can see your good trees, you mark them and you thin around them. What you want to do is get your good trees opened up on 3 sides or 4. They grow fastest with 4 sides open, but 3 will do a good job. 2 will keep them going, but 3 will make them grow faster. 4 will make them really turn on. And so you pick your good trees, and got a lot of pin oak volunteers in here. Pin oak is not my most favorite tree, but it grows fast and makes low-grade lumber in a hurry. So, I'm not getting rid of those, using a lot of them 4-crop trees. But like right there, there's a swamp white oak and a pin oak next to each other. And I'll probably get rid of that pin oak because I've got plenty of them in here. And I'd like to get that, I want to get that swamp white oak open on at least 3 sides. And there's always trouble as you come through, walk through here, and you see a little patch of orange back there. That's a pin oak and another pin oak. There was a line of 3 sycamores back there, and I marked the biggest one for a crop tree. They're all pretty equal in quality. And we'll get rid of 1 sycamore and have 1 in reserve. I chose the one on the end as a crop tree. We'll take out the one in the middle. And then as I came this way, I ran into a patch of ash. These ash are all dead or dying. No crop trees here, so I just walk through a patch here with no crop trees. And as I come through here, I come to a nice little pin oak right there, and there's a nice sycamore right there. It's about 12 inches diameter. It's already a saw log. That's a good one. And then we've got another nice pin oak right there with a smaller one between it and the sycamore. Anyway, so it's already overtopped. It really doesn't need to be cut because it's already overtopped, but we can whack that to make a little firewood. So anyway, so I'm going to mark that as a possible crop tree, the sycamore, and then you see past that there's a small ash saw log just right. And ash, you don't have to get rid of them because they're falling out on their own. And that big tree over there, that's the west end of my plot I'm working on. So when I get past that sycamore, I'm about at the end, and I see I've got a couple of hickories out there. I'm going to choose which one is the best one. And what I'm doing, I just put a little orange paint on each tree I say is a possible crop tree. And you come back with a chainsaw and you look up in the crown, and any tree that's got a crown within 3 feet of the crown of your crop tree goes. It's that simple. And it's a really simple way to do a thinning because you know about how many trees you can grow per acre. We were looking at being able to finish 40 or 50 trees per acre. 50 is about the max. 50 trees per acre is 30 by 30. We planted our trees in here basically 10 by 10, so that makes it pretty easy. As I mark this, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of bouncing between 2 rows and get to the end, turn around, move over 30 feet and bounce back between 2 rows. And it lets you pick trees real easy. And 33 by 33 is 40 trees per acre. A lot of people put down our English system of measurement, but the way this ground was all laid out was in chains. And a chain is 66 feet, and 10 square chains makes 1 acre. So if I go instead of 66 feet, if I go 66 feet and mark a tree, I'll be marking 10 per acre. Cut that in half. If I go 33 feet, mark a tree, 33 feet, mark a tree, and come back 33 feet off of that, I'm marking 40 trees per acre. That works really well in natural timber. In planted timber, where we go 10 by 10, 30 by 30, works really well. And it's never perfect. You're not going to find a good tree at every stopping point. So you're kind of playing with the numbers as you go. You know, if you went long last time, see if you can find a good tree quicker, you know. And there's always good trees in here. I see lots of good pin oaks. And like right there, there's that ash. It's dead. Right past it, I've got like three pin oaks in a group there. So we'll walk over here, and you can see there's one that has a really strong crown, nice and straight, no forks, no big scars. There's a place where on the bottom there where it has a healed over place where it had a fork. We'll go ahead and put paint around that. That's a possible crop tree. It has a lightning scar on this side. Looks sound. That's a possible crop tree. You see, I got one there. When you get under that big wolf tree, there's no point in marking anything. Nothing's growing under that thing till it dies. So, you know, walk over here and look at these hickories, and that's the end of this pass. And hickories are slow growing. You know, you don't pick a lot of hickories. You keep a few for diversity and feeding the squirrels. That one's pretty limby. That one's pretty limby. This one's nice. And so the motto in doing this kind of marking is see good trees. You see good tree and the spacing's right, mark it. Okay, that's the end of this pass. And you can look out through the woods there. You can see I got little paint spots all over. Now, the line I was on is actually about where that sycamore is. So I'm gonna walk over 30 feet. And I think that's gonna be my last pass, because I'm looking at where the corner of the old woods is. And I think I'm gonna be going up here. There's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There, I'm over 30 feet. And we're gonna start going back east. And right here I've got a nice hickory. You look up there and you see that hickory forks. Right next to it is a nice hickory that does not fork. Decisions can be really simple. So that is the good tree. So we'll put some paint on that tree. That's going to be a crop tree. And then I'm going to go east and find another good tree. I hope 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, there's 30 feet. And what we've got, there's that sycamore we marked. And see, I'm about 30 feet off of that. That little pin oak is under the crown of that sycamore. He'll stay. But ahead of me, I've got this patch of ash again. I've got a saw log here. Not going to touch that. So when you get to a crud like this where it's all dead ash, go another 30 feet. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm standing here in a bunch of dead ash. So nothing here to thin. There's nothing here to bother with. So I think I'm actually done. And I stretched my west end of, I was wanting to mark out 1 acre today. And I look out here and all I've got is ash ahead of me. There's nothing here to thin. And you run into that kind of stuff. Ash seeds in prolifically. So anyway, that's the end of this, and I'm at the corner. You know, I was at the corner of the woods. You see that line of big trees straight ahead of us looking back? That was the edge of the old woods, so I've got her marked out pretty good. I'm just looking to see if there's anything here worth growing. If there is, it's already freed up because of all these ash dying. Boy, if I cut all this ash and got it in the barn, I'd have all my heat for next winter. This is a lot of ash. Okay, so we've got this little project marked. That's didn't take too long. I think I've been out here a little over an hour just walking back and forth, east to west. Yeah, I'm done. I'm past the corner of the woods. That big old snag there is past the corner. So this out here where the ash is, that was a little field we abandoned after this planting we did. So anyway, it's always fun to come out in the woods. Let me see if I'm going to clear my nozzle here. There, we got her clear. There we go. Okay. And one of the things that bugs me is we learned this is called timber stand improvement years ago. We're making our timber better. But in the government, everybody's worried about us calling it timber. Timber sounds so greedy to say timber. So now they call it FSI. It's forest stand improvement. And back in the 90s, they got really wild. They said when we're helping people thin their timber, anything can be used as a crop tree. It can be, because it's a nice hollow tree where raccoons and possums might live, we can make that a crop tree for wildlife. You make one because it's pretty, or the landowner likes it for one reason or another. That can become a crop tree. And you know, we do those things anyway. You don't have to tell us every little thing. We've got a tree over here that's absolutely worthless from a timber standpoint. And we love that old tree. Let me come over here and look at this. Of course, we got these big old dead ones. We leave those. Woodpeckers love them. But it's still, whether it's a forest or timber, we love it. Now you're getting a real tour here. You can see we've got some big old trees out here. If you don't use them, you lose them. See, there's a big old pin oak there that fell apart way out there. If you don't use them, you lose them. Look at that. Two big stems, both on the ground. And they're so big, I don't think I'm going to work them up for firewood. It's easier to cut this ash that I've got. Anyway, look at this swamp white oak. And there's some people would probably say it's a Indian trail tree that points to water or points a trail. And well, you know, when a tree's young, something can fall across it and bend it and do the same thing. And it's not pointing toward the water. The water is east of here, and it's pointing southwest. So, of course, there's a creek south of us, a creek north of us. There was a swamp east of us. The Indians didn't have any trouble finding water right here. Anyway, you can't do anything with this tree except you could climb up in there and use that as a deer stand, natural deer stand. You know, we like that old tree. We don't get rid of it. And here's another big old swamp white oak here. And we've killed a few squirrels out of that tree. Once in a while, a squirrel will open up a hollow in it, and we'll get bees in that tree. So it's Anyway, Susan and I love our timber. Anyway, catch you all later. Thank you for visiting. Now you know how to go out and mark your timber for a thinning. Bye-bye.